Welcome into this Restaurant Revitalization Fund update review, where I'm going to be going in and showing you what's happening today, tomorrow, in the future, as well as things as why your application may still be under review, the alternatives if you cannot get into it, and what the outlook is like for you as a small business moving forward, as a startup, non-startup. What are all your ultimate options you can get, as well as faster funding? So stick with me. So I'm going to get into the share screen in a moment, but if you haven't watched me before in the past, I come out with videos like this, showing people, small businesses specifically, how to get alternative funding, working capital, business lines of credit, invoice factoring, equipment, you name it, everything, all small business loans, as well as other material. And if you don't want to miss a single video I'll be coming out with in the future, go ahead and subscribe right now. Click on the bell notification icon if you can. That way you don't miss a future video I come out with. Now let's get into the share screen and talk about what's going on with this government funding and what can you look forward to. So as the time of me making this video, it is September 24th of 2021, and it may come to no surprise if you've been tracking the Restaurant Revitalization Award Portal or anything SBA related, what's been happening lately. You know, the applications have been closed for many types of these funding loans. So it comes to no surprise with this. As you can see here in the portal, register and apply through the SBA. The Restaurant Revitalization platform is now closed. Your application will be held in its current status on the platform for those of you who have already submitted. And I'm going to get into what's happening when it says under review. The SBA will rapidly move to approve and disperse your eligible application when and if new funds are made available. So there's the information. And if you were to click this, you can't go through anywhere. And if you're a registered user already, you can go ahead and put your username and password there. Okay, so this, you've probably come across it and you're still wondering, what do I do next? Where do I move forward? Are there alternative options? What do I need? I'm going to get into that in just a moment. Okay, but let's cover over some of the few details in this one. So we come over here to the SBA website, right? It's a no-brainer. You've probably already gone through here, looked through it, researched, thought about what different types of even SBA loans to look at, right? There's those SBA 7A. There's plenty of different ones, micro loans you can get through different programs. And I won't spend a lot of time on the SBA type of things here, but it'll be one of our alternatives. So stick with me as I release that information. But if you'd like to learn more about all SBA things, in the description down below, I'll leave information with also a 6-step pre-approval lending checklist. So you can really understand all the steps you need to get you approved for any type of small business loan, not only with these, but it's going to show you what I've had to go through and what others have as well, and what I've shown people they need beforehand. So when you walk into an application, you're not feeling under pressure, confused, feeling like you're not going to get approved, and you're going to end up wasting days, weeks, those months, and even years, okay, because I've seen that happen. And being under those statuses, it's not fun. So go ahead and check that out down below. Here we can see, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this type of a program, so the American Rescue Plan Act established the Restaurant Revitalization Fund, RFF for short, to provide funding to help you as a small business restaurant, or if you're not and you know somebody who is, this is what the information you can pass down to them. And other eligible businesses to keep their doors opened. This program will provide restaurants with funding equal to their pandemic-related revenue, loss up to $10 million per business and no more than $5 million per physical location. Recipients are not required to repay the funding as long, keywords as long here, as funds are used for eligible uses no later than March 11th of 2023. So what does that mean in terms of term? If you've been following any type of small business loans, and maybe you applied for some, you've seen it where it says, okay, what are the payback requirements? Am I doing this daily, weekly, bi-weekly? Is it a monthly thing? And I'm afraid that I'm going to go into default. That's a very common issue to go into, especially if you're doing monthly payments and if you have less of an income coming in, and maybe it's part of a credit thing too, that can hurt you in the long run. But You get up to March 11th, 2023, which is a longer term, which is a great thing for you to be able to use up all those funds. You can even use them up before then. And right here is what's most important is you can sign up to receive email alerts from the SBA as additional information about the Restaurant Revitalization Fund becomes available. So if we were to click this button, it's going to open up a new window. And let me show you what that's going to give you. So as very common as most websites do, it's going to use the cookie stuff. It's going to ask you to accept. Email updates. To sign up for updates or you access your subscriber preferences, please enter your contact info. Just asking for an email address, no name, okay? Very simple, straightforward, easy process for you. Just submit it, and there we go. It's very simple. You're going to be getting those notifications. Now let's exit out of this, and we're going to scroll down here. We're going to kind of skip through this because we know it's already closed, and I'm going to get into the alternatives. So stick with me. You're going to really want to know what those are. You can even get superior, fast, same-day funding, instant approval funds deposited into your account. You can use today to build, grow, expand, and even get out of a tight pinch. It's very unparalleled. You see something like this. So stick with me here. So who can apply for this? If you didn't know already, restaurants, food stands, food trucks, food carts, caterers, bars, salons, lounges, taverns. The list goes on. You can see there, wineries, breweries. How to apply. We just went through that portal and I showed you that it wasn't open at this moment. Who's to know it can't be in the future. So stick with me in this channel. Make sure you have already subscribed so you don't miss those updates I'll be coming out with, not only in this, but other SBA type related material. I've already released content out on that. There's more information again down below in the description. When to apply, set aside funding amounts, just general information like that. But I'm going to give you an update as to other information. Allowable use of funds. You can use them for business payroll costs, payments on any business mortgage obligation, business rent payments, business debt services, all the way down to businesses operating expenses. So you get a wide variety of things to use it for, unlike other types of loans that I'm going to list here as an alternative that might give you more limited option. So what to expect after you have applied, this is what's most important because I've been hearing and getting, hey, well, my application is still under review. What's going on here? As outlined by Congress, SBA will review applications for priority applications groups first, okay? There's a priority list to this, so those who have applied at the very beginning, those who meet a certain requirement that they're looking for, maybe it's a higher credit score, personal credit score, even businesses. What are they looking for? What do they see in you in terms of your business, what it's doing? And that's how they kind of prioritize. So you have to be patient. If you've submitted something in, it's not the end all be all. Okay, and in the meantime, I'm going to show you other things you can go ahead and do. So applicants, who have submitted non-priority applications will remain in review status, as I just said there. So non-priority applications under review status. So if you have been searching for this information, now you have it here. It's been told to you, and maybe you see this and you've been trying to look elsewhere. This is it right there. There's no other way. You just have to be patient. I'm saying this, okay, as speaking from experience, and I know what you're going through, the pains, the frustrations. I'm saying I need my funding. I need something to get me going today. Don't worry, I'm going to show you what you can do. While priority applications are processed during the first 21 days, we do not anticipate communicating with applicants in review status during this period. So if you try to reach out to them, maybe try to contact them, you haven't gotten a response, there's your answer. Following a successful application submission, all applications will enter IRS verification status. This process may take up to 7 days and allows the SBA to validate your application submission. Very straightforward. You just got to see part of the process there. It's no different when you go to apply for a different type of small business loan. You are given a process depending on what small business loan you're after. And again, it goes through priority. So that was as far as I wanted to go into in that. Now I want to get into what your alternative options are, right? This is kind of like not the fun, but what you can look into. And one of these options through the SBA is the COVID-19 EIDL, the SBA EIDL, otherwise known as. for helping you get through these pandemic times. Okay, and I'm going to cover a little bit about what it is for those of you who maybe have heard of it for the first time or are unsure more about what it is. So in response to COVID-19, small business owners, including our agricultural businesses and nonprofit organizations and charities, can apply for the COVID-19 economic injury disaster loan. So that's what it is. It's a disaster loan. And I wanted to make sure I read that. I could have said that right away, SBA EIDL disaster loan, but I wanted to let you know what you can see here so you understand what you're looking at. And there's kind of some of the product terms and interest rates. Businesses 3.75% fixed, private nonprofit organizations 2.7% fixed, payment deferment, just some fees for loans 25,000 or less, no fees if applying directly through SBA, and then for loans greater than 25,000, one-time $100 fee. Okay, collateral required for loans greater than 25,000. Apply for a loan, how you can do that, and I'm going to show you how we can get into that. But not everybody will get approved for this, right? You can go and apply for a disaster loan. They're very common. People will turn to this, especially if you cannot get into the restaurant revitalization. And then I'm going to show you another common thing. So we can go here, we go down there. I'm going to show you what this looks like. This is what it'll bring up. And it says here, if you have previously applied for COVID EIDL funds and are seeking additional funds, do not submit a new loan application. Return to your portal login to request a loan increase. So you're going to get a login with all this, okay? So just remember to go back there. If you forgot about it and you're trying to contact support or whatever you're trying to do first, go to your login. So streamline process requirements. So as we know, it's for applicants that are impacted by the COVID-19. The information will be used in determining whether the applicant yourself is eligible for an economic injury loan. If you did not submit all the information requested as standard, your loan cannot be fully processed. And just some quick information there: eligible entity verification, eligibility questions that you're going to be asked to go through, just a little bit of them, and then continue on to the next page there. But not everybody will be able to get them. Not all the time will they be open to everybody. Okay, just like other common SBA loans that you can get through an application, but they're put on hold. That's what a lot of these will do. They'll ask you, they'll tell you, go ahead and submit an application, but we'll hold it on our profile and we'll get back to you when we can or when it's opened up again. And the thing is, they hold a lot of people. So if you're questioning if I'm going to get approved and your application has gone through, it's just a matter of being patient because they're going in priority and they're looking through your background, being able to see what's going on here. They can't just give everybody all at one time. They want to prioritize the people who meet their certain requirements and can get through it faster. So that's the thing. And there's so many people who are not trustworthy and are not truthful with what they're saying. It's just the way it goes. And it kind of stops those people who are priority first because these people have to look through and filter out, and they're spending time on doing that. Okay, so you have to be careful of that. So another thing you can look at is a PPP loan, okay? So a payment protection program type of a loan. SBA PPPs, commonly known as, you've heard of them, and that's to protect you and cover any type of expenses in with like payroll, your employees, making sure you can pay them and other expenses that you have on overhead, but it doesn't cover everything. PPP, especially at the time of me making this video, isn't open, and it can be open in the future. Maybe it is irrelevant when you're watching it that it is opened again to the public, but in the moment it isn't. And you can get that kind of stuff through things like Fundera, Lendio. You have other options, just going through and typing in PPP quick search on Google and figuring out what other options are out there and how to figure it out. There's so much information about it, but as the time of me making this video, it's not something that is viable of a solution to you. And you're still wondering now, like, what other options are there then? You know, you have the SBA 7A loans, you have the SBA micro loans you can get into. Even with an SBA 7A loan, the problem that I see with that is that you have to have like at least a 640 plus 680 preferred credit score. And there's these other requirements as well included. And not everybody can match that. And not all the time can you get an SBA loan. That's the thing, is getting that. And if you need money right away, stick with me. I'm going to release that information in just exactly about a minute here. So another option, aside from companies like Fundera, Lendio, online marketplaces, that will connect you with these lenders and providers. And there's other options out there like On Deck, that I know has been working with that. And currently the PPP has been closed. But I'll leave more information about Fundera, On Deck, Lendio, all these other services you want to know about, SBA 504 loans, microloans, everything that I just kind of talked about briefly. I didn't want to go too in depth on to stay on topic here, but that'll be down below in the description. You can learn more about it. And also don't forget to pick up that free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist. Again, it'll be in the description so you can learn more about it there. Another thing you can do is do business credit cards. I know that's not a loan, but business credit cards are very helpful. It's a great alternative to get into if you want to get into those. Another way to go is the business line of credit. It's more of a hybrid. And this is an amazing program I love, been a part of, and it works extremely well. So you can get revolving credit lines that then you can use to apply for working capital, equipment, customer financing, invoice factoring, all these different types of options while it builds your business credit. And there are programs out there like Credit Suite, you have Fund and Grow, among many. These are the top 2 huge ones here. You can learn more about what business line of credit is and how it can be applied to you. They work with startups, non-startups, the differences and similarities with all of them. Again, down below in the description, make sure to check that out. Now, another option, you have merchant cash advances. And here you can see merchant cash advance with same-day funding as low as even a 450 plus credit score FICO approval. We're talking about FICO. We're not even talking about the 3 big ones here. Okay, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, not the big 3 credit bureaus. We're just talking about FICO. What is the history? What is the usage rate of it? How much of it have you been using? That's very common, and I think it's a much better alternative to those 3 if you don't think you're going to qualify, because most of the times we look for at least for 1 or 2 out of the 3 that you can qualify for. If you know you're already going to be negative in that, and even if not, this is a great alternative. So a merchant cash advance is a way for the lenders to take away a percentage of your future credit cards sales. So whatever you make in profits, they will be taking a percentage away from that. They can decide how high it becomes, 10%, even higher sometimes. They just see how much of it you are earning and like what you are not getting and what's happening. And then they can take away and then they can give you more. They can lower the percentage of it depending on how your business is doing. And it sounds a little complicated if you haven't looked at this, but trust me, it's a very simple, straightforward process. And merchant cash advances have been around for a long time. It's a way for you to get superior and fast funding. It's one of the fastest ways actually to get fast, even same day, within a day, even as far as a week, couple of days within a week, to get funding into your account. And it's one of the best ways to do it with a low credit score. We're talking about FICO credit scores. And this is in a category called revenue-based funding, where you can, you're going to be looked at what you're making monthly. They look at, your credit as well as other requirements, but we factor in more what you are making consistently in income. And this is part of the 3 C's of capital, 1 being cash flow, 2 being collateral, 3 being credit. So if you meet cash flow per month, you can qualify for something like a merchant cash advance. If you meet credit, let's say you have a higher credit score, that can fall something underneath an SBA, SBA 7A, 504, those different types of loans that you can go for. But again, not everybody gets qualified, or not everybody can get their applications going through because everybody's trying to get one. And this is a great alternative with merchant cash advances. There are startup ones, but you have to be careful because not all of them will be like, hey, you have to not be making anything. You have to be making a certain amount, which, if you're just getting started and you don't have any monthly income, it can be a little bit difficult. But there are other solutions. If you would like to know about alternative startup solutions, in the description, again, down below, there are options out there like crowdfunding, grants. It's one that I didn't mention as an alternative is a grant you can get. Go locally or your local chamber of commerce, friends and family, right? If you've tried that already, your savings. There are other options down below in the description. You can learn more about it. But again, sticking on topic here, merchant cash advances, very popular. They do have a higher interest rate. That's the thing you have to look out for. There are some of those untrustworthy lenders who want to charge you a higher interest rate than you should, and they don't give you a certain amount of money. But if you look for the right ones, like I have for you, I have all the different types of programs, but two types of the many, there are a lot of them out there that you can apply for. But one of the big ones is Biddy Advance. Okay, so if I do a quick search here on Biddy Advance.com, and while we give that a second to load, we can come back to our article here. And again, this will all be down below about Biddy Advance. I have a separate video for it. You can learn about it. So if you're in the market for a merchant cash advance amount from $2,000 to $25,000 from the leader in this industry, who's provided capital to thousands of entrepreneurs, small business owners, people who haven't been able to get relief from the SBA, get a PPP loan, get other options. It's in all 50 states in the US and be able to get instant approval, same day funding with the lowest requirements there is. We're not asking for the world from you. We're not saying, hey, you got to have a high credit score. We're not the banks. We're not saying you have to be a huge business like the traditional banks ask for, and other reasons. Okay, look no further than Biddy Advance. We see here, welcome to Biddy. And I've done a full review on them. Is the leader in the MCA, how it works, get approved, get funded, pay and draw. Business checking account, here are the requirements. 6 months in business, 5,000 plus monthly bank revenue, 450 plus credit score. All industries are welcome. You're considered. You can get funded right away. I'm going to show you a little bit about that, but there's a separate video for it down below. Get funded, apply, link online banking, review approval terms. No hard credit checks like other places do. Review approval terms, sign agreement, receive your funds. No collateral required. Okay. Pay and draw. Payment history earns you more. Save with early pay discount. Receive funding again and again. Add-on funds are available. Refinances with high net. What are the customers saying? The service at Biddy Advance is outstanding. The staff is responsive and easy to work with. Highly recommended for your funding needs. Biddy has helped my company out a few times with financing. I trust them completely to let me know when I can take advantage of early pay discounts. They are also super quick in the funding process. I definitely will keep using them in the future. It has been a great experience doing business with Biddy Advance. For the customer service members are superb and very good at what they do. They are very quick and because of them, I have been able to grow my business exponentially. Five-star service, and just a few more bits of information about them there. But Biddy Advance, a great one to look into, who have partnered up with a company here called David Allen Capital, specifically a branch of their program called Bank Breezy. That's what you're going to want to go through with Biddy Advance. You're going to go through Bank Breezy, where you can get up to $25,000 today. This is a great superior alternative to all the ones that I've already mentioned. Better than an MCA, merchant cash advance, because they don't take away. This is a company that does revenue-based funding. So we don't do hard credit pulls. We don't take a percentage away of your future credit card or even debit card sales like a regular merchant cash advance does. This is kind of a hybrid and a much better route to go into. And I've done a separate video for it down below in the description. Again, check it out. Get your application started, get it in. We kind of went over the requirements already, but go ahead and look below. You can go ahead and go through that application. There might be a little link that takes you to a quick quiz, just so you know when we recapped here, just to make sure if there's any updates that you go through the right qualification to make sure you knew what you liked here today. So how does it work? Immediate approvals. Again, we just went over that. 5,000 plus in monthly bank revenue. This is in the capital, the cash flow, right? We have collateral and credit, the three big C's of getting a small business loan. If you have cash flow, this is a great solution for you. Low credit score, great, 450 plus. 6 months in business, that's all we ask for. A business checking account, very standard. Be serious, no sole proprietors, okay? Make sure you have a business checking account. You take your business serious. Personal doesn't show that. As much as you don't think so, you gotta have a better identity when it comes to it at the end of the day. An EIN number, stuff like that. It's breezy online process. We just went over simple and fair. No hard credit inquiries, no collateral required. Industry leading pay early discount, transparent terms. And we just went over earlier the payment history and stuff like that. And if you needed more than 25K, what can you do? That's the amazing thing. If you have 25,000 plus monthly bank revenue each of the last 3 months, business checking account 6+ months in business, and a 500 plus credit score, then you can look for David Allen Capital here. And this is their main program. where you can get up to $2 million within a day or two, as far as a week. Okay. It's very great to have business capital working for your business when you need to grow. So this is it right here, up to 2 million. If this is something that would interest you and you're on like in the non-startup, it's a great solution to look into, and it's way better than most options that I've come across. And there's nothing like this in this industry that I've seen as working with it in the finance industry. And I mean, it's a great solution to get into. And pre-qualification, complete application, and you submit your documents, and they're on out. So that'll be all down below in the description. So you can go ahead and check it out. Minimum of 4 months in business, if I think I said 4 months here, but they're always being updated. So again, I'll leave a link down below if there's like a little pre-qualification updated page. You can go through that. So that is all in there. These are your options that I've shown with you today. We've gone through the SBA, kind of talked a little bit about SBA things, 504 programs, microloan programs, but I have a separate video for this kind of stuff, and all the alternatives to the restaurant revitalization funding, went over the updates, how it's been closed for you, what you can then do instead with Fundera, Lendio, all these other small business loan solutions, credit suites, Fund and Grow, along with other ones. Merchant cash advances, what they are briefly. The alternatives to it, like David Allen Capital, the Bank Breezy program, you can get up to 25K same day instant approval funding right away into your account if you need fast funding, low credit score, FICO. Look into that. That'll be down below in the description. Go ahead and get started with that application. And let me know too in the comment section, have you qualified for a small business loan in the past? What's your status with the Restaurant Revitalization Fund? What are you looking for specifically? If you want to talk, more information in the description, or you can get a hold of me on different like social media channels, emailing me, and thereforth. Okay. So that's everything from me in this video. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe, click on the bell notification icon so you don't miss any future updates I'll be coming out with on this, as well as other types of, like with SBA, PPP, what's happening there, small business loans with the 3 big C's. We're talking about cash flow, what different types of companies are around that. I showed you just a few today, great solutions, some of the best ones. We're talking about collateral. If you had a collateral, what's a great option for you? How about credit? If you have great credit, what can we then do for you? Where can we move you around? Okay. So that's everything from me in this video. Thank you for tuning in.